is here, as I could hear everybody, that we all are here because we have been giving something to whatever industry we have been connected with, whatever our heart says. So it's a great thing. And again, a huge round of applause for all of you sitting in this room. Great. So we have amongst us one more speaker, and I would want to take the session ahead with the next speaker. So we're going to hear Miss Navamita Mazumdar, and she is a social evangelist based in Mumbai, an alumna of the XLRI Jamshedpur, and she began her career as an HR professional. She moved to the community management and then established a foothold for herself as an expert in the startup domain. Because of her social media presence, HR expertise, and community management experience, Ms. Mazumdar has evolved into a major influencer. She has, under her influence in social media and tech domain, to cement herself as one of the most prominent voices of women and children empowerment in India. She has been awarded various honors such as 100 Women Achiever by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, Top 25 Influential Women on Twitter, Top 100 Tech Influencer, and these achievements have helped her create a brand for herself, something she leveraged to set up the Navamita.com in 2016, a platform that she has established for evangelism, and she's going to speak about the women achievers and future of work. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come and share my thoughts. Thank you, Talis. Talis I know since a long time, more than 7 years right now. This gentleman, he had been creating different platforms, amazing awards, amazing sessions, amazing conventions. And he's so shy that when a media from Singapore covered him, it took me to tell him that, Talis, you need to share it on social media or else I'm going to do it. And I literally did it because he didn't do it. So thank you, Talis. The journey continues. I'm sure you'll take it even far ahead, and we'll see many more ladies, and all of us will celebrate our achievements together. So, this is what I want to speak. You know what? Last year, Live Mint had a coverage wherein they said that out of one factory worker in Maruti, there are 4 robots, right? And that was very scary because we are suddenly losing our jobs to robo, so much so that they are outnumbering us in manufacturing, and pretty soon they are going to outnumber us everywhere. And this is just India. Obviously, we know about all these driverless car in Google and Silicon Valley, but then the story is right here, right now, right here. The machines are more empowered, more efficient than any human being around. So how, as we women, ensure that we have our space, we have our excellence, and we continue to remain productive in such a time? This is a research by PwC, and they said they have divided the entire world of all these companies into 4 areas. One is, of course, blue, which is the most stable IBM kind of a company. The green, the Hyperloop kind of a company, or Suzlon, which is working into the green sector. The red, which is cutthroat, innovation-based, product-based companies, and then there is yellow. Yellow is the sector which is continuously focusing on products which are for human beings. I mean, suppose you have a product which is an AI-based salt dispenser. The salt dispenser tells you, it's called Smalt, it tells you how much salt to use. So this kind of product is for dementia, right? So yellow is the segment who uses their entire capability to build product for human beings. Maybe an Ola app that helps you choose a car driven by human being or self-driven, or even the auto-driven car. These are new collar jobs which are taking over. If you heard Jeannie Rometty's speech in the opening speech at World Economic Forum this year, this is the first thing she said, that new collar jobs are taking over from holocratic organization, right, which has been functioning almost without a leader, which has been flat. I mean, companies who are large yet completely flat, companies who are extremely transparent, such as Hybrid or other companies who announce their salaries on internet. From CEO to the first employee, it is all announced. So all those holocratic organizations have been creating new jobs which have not been there, for which the education has not been there, and obviously these kind of jobs are evolving so much more that the existing number of jobs are going to vanish into them. This is a report by McKinsey, wherein they say that with equal participation we can equate the GDP of US and China put together. That's the kind of foot forward we need. That's the kind of earning that we need to support. Most of the women, we work, but we get paid half. We do not fight for equal pay. Obviously, Adobe this year had announced for equal pay, so much so that they cut down the salaries of their male employees to match their women employees. Obviously, any product that you're building or any activity that you're doing, or even the school that you're running, make sure that you're not just doing great work, you're not just contributing to the society, you're earning as much as the male member in your sector is. This is a global entrepreneurship monitor which shows the kind of association which women has in different sectors. Interestingly, the highest association is in the education and health sector. Very few women get into technology, even fewer women get into policy making, where exactly we need to be. If you remember last year when we had maternity benefit amendment, the first thing media said was we will have fewer women being hired right now. Norway and Sweden, they have 44 they have up to 44 weeks of maternity leave, and nobody in their country doesn't say that we won't hire women anymore. I don't know what happened in 1952 or 57 when maternity act was first implemented or even was functional. I'm sure media had even more scary versions that women will never be hired. Thankfully, we are more than 50 years away from that. This is a sectorial divide of what are the segments where women are, right? And why do we need to understand this? Because this looks good on paper. This will not remain where the future is. The future is in technology. The future is in disruption. It may not be technology. Think of it. An Airbnb is not a hotel company, but it is the largest hoteling company in the world. So it's the disruption that you need to step onto, not just these services and education sector which we have already been ruling all this while. This is my favorite tweet from Twitter, and you know why? Because this young lady, she took the same vehicle with her mother while going to work. That's Air India. Air India allowed her mom to have a family, have an able daughter, and hired her daughter as a pilot. And look at the kind of organization. Yes, irrespective of what the market is saying, irrespective of what government policies would be towards Air India, can we just create organization as responsible as this? Do we still need to go and fight for crash places for our company within our company units, or do we need to create a space wherein a woman can come here and work with her daughter one day, or even a man can work with his son one day? Do we need that kind of stability, that kind of a vision? What organizations are we building? Future is all about technology, definitely, but future is more about disruption. Future is more about intelligence and intellect. So if only we have a vision like this, we know we are building something, or else that yellow sector will soon vanish into the red sector, which is just a cutthroat product making sector. These are the areas. If you can read it, this broadly identifies the HR point of view in each sector, right? Last year I did meet the CEO of the PETA organization in India, and he shared what a nightmare they lived when Jallikattu was entirely in news. Literally, he had to drop his employees home, right? So the HR in the CSR, the green world, is what is living right now. Blue world, companies that have survived the test of time, IBMs and all. You know what is the greatest fear? That the best employee will go and prepare a product which they have not prepared, and which might go ahead and take over later on. Paytm, a product which no finance company was worried about, but look at it. You never know which person from all these blue companies would go and prepare that. And of course, the yellow or the red sector. What is the main problem? The HR or the company people who are running it, the main problem is how to hold these impatient, these people who can't hold even one breath more back into the company. Here's a little bit of my story. It was great to hear all your achievements. I really loved the kind of areas that you have covered: social work, yoga, teaching. Here's a bit of me. During my last segment, last term in XLRI, I was told about HR communities, and back then the communities used to be just offline version wherein the top people would be there. So I saw it and I couldn't find myself in any of those communities. So I walked up to a faculty of mine, Dr. Madhukar Shukla, and I told him that, sir, I do not understand these communities. He said, create your own. XLRI faculty, right? That's how they talk. Create your own community, open, online, anonymous, let it be free, let everybody come and discuss. Beautiful concept, I loved it. Within a month, I found it SiteHR online, and I joined SiteHR as a member. Just as you might join Facebook first time as a member, I joined it as a member. But within few months, I created the offline chapter. From Pune, it spread to international, worldwide. We had in Dubai and many other countries. And I started moonlighting with the founder for that company. For 4 years, I was moonlighting while I was working in different corporates. And in 2010, I took it up full time. I became a partner to that company, and till 2016, the community was one of the top 3 as per Alexa, ahead of PayScale and United Government website. And to tell you a bit, this website or the community that we had created, it was 3 of us working from our living rooms from 3 different cities. And I believe that's the core of how women can disrupt, how women can work. We have our limitations, we have our challenges. We cannot really cross every boundaries, reach out to Silicon Valley, create the next best product, create an automated car, but nothing stops us. You can still create, you can still find what problem you want to solve, attack it, be passionate about it. For this community, I used to work for 22 hours. I wouldn't sleep because I can't sleep when my community is alive. You won't believe at 2 a.m. in the morning, women would come and share their workplace problems. Who answers them? There are experts worldwide. How can you sleep? How can you not build a community like that? It kept me very motivated, and thanks to all the social media activities and the media activities that I got to evangelize, I received this award from President of India. And yes, this award came to me working from my living room. So if you think you're a woman, you do not have the freedom to go out and conquer the world, you do not have the money to go out and conquer the world, here's a story. I'm grateful to everybody who had supported me, but then this story continues with me. Thank you so much. With me continuing to build another platform called Navamita.com, and in this one, I'm free to evangelize as many concepts, right from AI, blockchain, to diversity, women empowerment. I can speak anything, employer branding, and it's so interesting that corporates reach out to me. They see some kind of a meaning in what I'm saying or what I'm trying to do, and building something along. The journey is extremely grateful. I cannot really say how grateful to all of these corporates, all of these people who have worked along with me. Most importantly, for me, it's a continuous work wherein I'm still building more communities. I'm still bringing many more people together. In one of the scenario, suddenly during my SiteHR days, 9 o'clock in the morning, I see a post that I am an HR manager at a firm in Kerala. An employee of mine died right outside my company. I'm getting get out. My boss ran away. What do I do? This is a village which is far away from the city. There's no police station around. And then suddenly we had experts worldwide helping him out. So go build something meaningful, earn equally well, and contribute to the world equally. You guys have already conquered the storm. Y'all have already lived through what was unthinkable. So to you all, mirror, mirror on the wall, I'll get up each time I fall. Whether I run, limp, or I crawl, I'll stand tall and claim it all. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to India's first corporate news channel. We invite interviews, articles, press releases from your organization. Visit our portal www.indianconventions.com. Thank you.